Of course, Story Footer definitely rings a bell. Archie Tiger, Adro, Marcus Moy, and, well, then there's that guy named Super KGE, also on the roster. You probably have heard of him once or twice. So when it comes to being star-studded players, again, this is one of these teams, and they took a game off of Willowkeeper, if you remember. They forced them to go 3 games, and it was a pretty close series overall. So this is most certainly kind of a dark horse team coming into these playoffs here. That team should that we should be looking forward to seeing how they do. But the obviously outside of them, however, is that they have been through some roster changes, and including most recently Super KG joining them. Great player, but team synergy is a big thing. So, but yeah, Don't Care definitely has their hands full here.
Yeah, I mean they picked up a Pebbles after Deadwood was first picked. To me, is a little bit surprising. Like Pebbles, particularly in the early levels, really has issues obviously with the armor, and then playing against a Deadwood like. I guess they feel rather confident with Pebble's second pick.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, definitely hurts on that armor, especially earlier on. We'll see if Deadwood probably going to be in the hands of Super KGE can take care of that or take advantage of that even. They also get the Ophelia follow-up, so pretty strong lineup in the makings here. Now, Parasite in response. Ophelia, strong hero, but is being picked into both the Glacius and now a Parasite here. Definitely both considered somewhat counters to the hero.
Yeah, definitely. I'm wondering, they could easily run an aggressive trial lane as well. Parasite could just jump into Ophelia's woods there and really cause a lot of problems. But I think the last game we saw Coolio play, they didn't have Adra, did they? They had someone else filling in. I can't remember who was filling in. I know Adra was not playing.
Time to Die.
Yeah, that was why. Yeah. Yeah, because I think Adra is the first support, whereas Archtiger will be playing the Ophelia. So, and I think in the last game, Archtiger had to be played the first support. And I mean, I know Archtiger really does like Ophelia though, plays it a lot. So I guess he feels comfortable even going against a Glacius. And with Parasite on the border, yeah, definitely had it in his mind that he could definitely be going against a Parasite. So.
Oh, that's going to be the case here. So we'll see how comfortable he truly is. Empath going to be the final pick before the next tier of bans here coming out for Coolio. So they go with the Empath route. It's safe to say they're very likely going to be looking to pick up that hard carry now to synergize with the Empath here. Who that hard carry is well, we'll have to wait and see. Marcus Moy. Going to be the carry player most likely. I know he likes that silhouette. Speaking of silhouette.
Yeah, they first banned it as well. He's playing it like I'm almost certain that because me, Akami, and Marcus Moy were all on the same team, and we all knew how good Marcus' sort of silhouette was. So they probably said just ban it out. And yeah. Marcus actually whispered me after he banned it. He said, "Oh my god, I can't believe they banned silhouette, GG boys." So yeah, obviously, definitely a good ban against Coolio in this respect.
Yeah. Bands going back and forth here. Clanks into Bubbles, Accursed into Dr. Repulsor. Now the final 2 bans going to be happening right here, but
I'm surprised they banned that Accursed though. Like in the game they did run it was the game 2, wasn't it, against Tree, where Tree originally used the Accursed in game 1, and then Coolio was like, yeah, we'll take that in game 2, and they did play it as a second support. But with Empath and Ophelia on the board, I mean, are they really worried of a carry Accursed? I mean, I've talked about it a lot, but I don't think teams are really that bold enough to. That's true, I guess that is true, but.
It probably wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Just in case there. Yeah, that is true, though. They did run it against Willowkeeper in response, and Curse was 2-0 in that series, so some strengths to it. You do see that, again, the final bans are still waiting to happen here. Thinking about this one a little bit more, both teams delving into their extra time quite a bit right here. Again, the Clanks and the Dr. Repulsor are also bans from one of the other teams here. Oogie going to be a band here. From Baby B-Kid, by the way. I'm just realizing that name. That's a clever name. The B-Kid, possibly a fan of him in the past, and trying to imitate what was a great player, of course, and competitive on history, so it's a good player to try to resemble your play after, as long as you remember to use Shrunken. That's important. Warbeast band coming out there. There we go, so... Warbeast left open that long. Pretty crazy, but...
Yeah, so Don't Care still have their offlane and their carry to pick up. I mean, I'm assuming the Glacius Pebbles has to be mid, because Pebbles isn't really the hero to be left alone. Doesn't have the greatest solo 1v1 potential. So they're going to have to pick up a self-sufficient carry on the board. Like, I mean, I've talked about Wretched Hag, and I know it has fallen off a lot, but, I mean, he did receive slight nerfs, but I think the hero is still very, very useful. Can get involved very early on, and... and can take control of the map as well. Very good at split pushing. That, particularly with the meta sort of coming in now. The hero is still very, very viable, but teams just quite against running him, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, he really is, man. I mean, I know that happens from time to time and season to season, but Hack just, again, disappeared, man. Just isn't seen anymore. Geomancer, how about that? That's I'm a huge fan of that. Again, Magnus being banned, what's the next best option? Geomancer is definitely that next best option, so a very aggressive lineup. Yeah,
very aggressive, but they're very magic damage orientated. Though I'd like to see Archetype pick up a carry that will go Shrunken Head. Shadowblade isn't really one of those heroes. I mean, you can definitely be Shrunken Head on any carry really, but Shadowblade more going for those sort of stats builds with like staff and into sort of sheepstick depending on what route it will go. I guess if he picks up more the almost old sort of style of carry, like a Dark Lady, for example, it could definitely get shut down because of this early aggression. So they pick up Ravana, though, a hero that can go Shrunken Head and can get involved early. So yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense there, and it's interesting. Of course, we hopped in this game after jumping out of the Night Raid versus. Who are they playing now? Night Raid versus
Select Club.
Select Club, that's right. Anyways, we were casting that series. They happened to pick Ravner as well. And sure enough, we got Ravner here now, picked up at Coolio. But yeah, it kind of made sense there, as you said, a hero that will ideally get a Shrunken Head earlier on and still be very useful with it. So definitely Ravner kind of fits that spectrum there. So now how are they going to finish? A couple seconds left. Gunblade. All right, so if they're going to get Shrunken Heads, might as well get a hero that's a lot more about physical, and that's definitely Gunblade.
I like it. And he's one of those heroes that can get involved early, but also is self-sufficient in the lane stage. For example, if he is going to get completely just shut out doing something else, so can solo bot, can even be involved in an aggressive tri lane, for example, with Parasite if he needs to with Glacier. So I like the pick.
I like it a lot. Gunblade really is an entertaining hero, man. I still remember when he first came out of the scene in Boxy's hands before Willowkeeper was even really a known team at the time. And they were kind of joking about it, like, oh, what is this about? And he went like 501-1 or something like that. No, he dominated, though. It was a very great performance. And again, a hero that showed that he has potential, good potential. Again, a lot of physical presence.
It's in cheaper suicide, but
yeah,
that I guess it's going to be okay because he's not going to be against most likely a 2v1 lane because obviously Parasite will most likely be in sort of defense jungle because I'm assuming it's just going to be a simple 1-2-1 here for Legion. So in that case, he's going to have a decent time in lane. But again, if he is against a Parasite, he can easily get ganked time and time again if Akami is actually looking to get aggressive from this chipper. I guess just from this chipper pick, it's going to depend on Akame playing aggressive or defensive. If he's going to play defensive, then Chipper's going to get quite a lot in the lane. Will do very well against Gunblade 1v1, but if Parasite's aggressive, he can get shut out completely, die over and over again.
Yeah. So. I like this game, man. I'm getting pretty hyped. This one, we got some entertaining here. I mean, really, no team went the true heart, like late game. We're not going to sit back and farm. This is going to be an action-packed game. There's no doubt about that. I mean, with the lineups that we have, there's no way around that. Yep. So that's definitely exciting, knowing that that's going to be the case. Again, both teams running that jungler, but also aggressive junglers on top of that. So can't wait to see how this one continues to play out here. Now, again, Empath was picked up here by Coolio earlier on in the draft, and that usually leads towards perhaps synergizing with more of the harder carry, but at the same time, she also
Revenant is. Revenant is.
Okay.
Trust me, yeah. It can do so much work, and I think the attack speed is even more useful than the attack damage in this case as well, because Revenant can hit so hard if he can get the relevant attack speed. So
yeah,
believe, man, just believe, Frankie.
I mean, yeah. What I was getting at, though, like more like a Clinks kind of hero, the sit back and right clicks, more the ranged carry even. But yeah, still, of course, great synergy. I mean, but the point I was getting at, though, is even if you have one with something like a Pebbles or in this case a Deadwood, still great with that. Getting more heavy hitting auto attacks off is very powerful tool to take advantage of. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean you need that true right click sit back hard carry just because you have an empath.
I'm wondering how they're going to lane it, though. I'm assuming it's just going to be Ravenor Empath top, because Ravenor will not be able to handle himself against Geo 1v1. Ravenor isn't the greatest sort of solo hero, but that does leave Deadwood is going to have a hard time, and like, obviously Super Cage is a great player, but when I see him dominate is when he gets like a good amount of time and almost sat himself in the lane. The game where he dominated, I think it was at least 2v2, but 1v2 against a Glacius Pebbles, he's going to have a hard time. He's going to have a late blink or late portal key, and I don't know how much impact he's really going to have in this game, honestly, just because of the laning phase. But
yeah,
guess we'll have to wait and see.
That is true. Shout out to Baby B-Kid, by the way, using one of the several Ursa avatars, in this case Ursa Gunblade. Of course, the Ursa series, what has helped raise so much money for the Han Tour Season 3 regular season here. I forget the exact number. I think it might be in a post even initially. But anyways, the point was, it was a lot of money raised by you guys in the community with purchasing the Ursa avatars and whatnot, playing the Plinko there, so... Big shout out to you guys, the community there. Bottom lane, you see already, we got Coolio sending everyone pretty much down here initially, at least. Ophelia going the boots first as well.
Maybe they're going to get aggressive instead, actually.
Yeah. The boots first, Ophelia. I mean, she's going against a Parasite, so it's nothing too crazy. But
I guess, but I mean, normally you only pick up boots like in case you're going against a Parasite. Normally you don't ever want to go aggressive against a Parasite, but
yeah. Yeah, we're going to see some clashing right here. Geoman's going to be the target initially. Gets the dig off, though. Avoids the second stun from Ravener. And now the beautiful Pebble stun on Ophelia. Wall off. Will save a little bit of damage coming out. Ophelia going to survive for now. The late shot attack, not enough damage. Somebody goes out first. It was actually a Kamai on Parasite. Geomancer still chasing. Ophelia will tie to the tower there. How many more people are going to fall? Devil's going to be another victim. And now actually Geomancer in a tight spot right here. Ravener chasing. But Ravener all of a sudden he's by himself actually. He's the one that needs to be careful right here. Now mana obviously getting low right here. But he still has enough mana for another dig. The wall off. Not the best as he dug right through it. Ravener a couple more auto attacks. I think he's just out of range. No, Glacius comes in. He freezes Chipper though. Instead wants to get a kill out of him. And Chipper is going to end up falling. Glacius, he will go down as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we said there's going to be action, and look at this. We got plenty of action already. Is this going to be another kill? Geomancer in trouble. Gunblade chasing down. No, not enough damage. On to Empath right there. Ophelia chases back Geomancer. I think it's finally ended here. As Geomancer, I don't know, the boots Ophelia. No, he's going to be fine. Wow, 6-0 kills. A 4-2 start, and now we are into the laning phase. A Parasite middle, by the way.
Yeah, he spec Leech actually, which is what secured the kill on Ophelia. I think it actually was the right call to make.
Yeah.
But he's obviously going to have to sit in lane or sit middle bottom. I don't know how close he is to level 2, but I think it was probably worth it to be honest. But he needs to get that level 2 straight away because he has spec Leech. Yeah, man, this game is actually insane. So how they're just running an Ophelia in the aggressive strong one. What is Empath coming bot? He does have a TP, and yeah, he's going to come bot. So they're actually going to run an aggressive tri lane against a Parasite. I mean, normally it wouldn't work, but with Parasite actually specking the Leech, actually, the Infest, like, he needs that level 2 right now. He's going to pull this pool camp, which is going to get him level 2, but, oh, Gunblade.
Gunblade popping that demonic shield. Well, look at that wall off, though. There's nowhere for her to go, especially with the creep spin there. Gunblade's going to fall. Beautiful angle coming out. Yeah, I don't think Gunblade was realizing that that was eventually going to be happening here and just simply got caught off guard by everyone being there, in the case of Empath and Ophelia especially. So now they're headed to the jungle, so yeah, just hope that the Parasite levels up level 1 Legion. You put yourself in a pretty good spot. Now Glacius is going to get caught too. He's just trying to juke and jive right here. Maybe get killed by neutrals. I mean, he didn't even really try, though. I'm a little curious about that because he was definitely dying right there. But he goes down, and well, this game, man, what a start we're already having. Parasite finally hits level 2, by the way. So he does get into his Infest here. But yeah, a little bit slower than he wanted, that's for sure.
So this Coolio way of them going aggressive tri-lane, it can work very, very well. The reason being is because now it allows Deadwood to have a 1v1 matchup against Pebbles, which he definitely is in favour of. So Super KG should do very, very well in that lane. Should most likely beat Captain Strider in that game. The only problem is it is very risky. Because I think if I was going to give it a straight actually advantage, I think I'd definitely give it to DoCa. But if they can get kills like this on Gunblade, then it doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah. We got top lane here. No, actually bottom lane. I was thinking smash at the top lane, but actually Gunblade gets picked off at the bottom lane. Archdagger doing so. Again, doing some more work as the aggressive Ophelia. You see the Minotaur taken over by Parasite, but just not enough in the end. So Gunblade falling again. He got the kill early on, but 1, 2, and 3 right here. And only 188 gold per minute. Empath leading the charts at nearly 500 GPM. Not often you see that. It's going to start going down
doing
now.
A lot of work.
Yeah, he is. 4-0-1. Jeez. Wow. Ooh. Yeah, he has a 4 hero kills. That explains that. Top lane, though, that's what I was watching before. Yeah, Chipper really boxing out this Geomancer. Pretty understandable there.
So yeah, I mean, this is the only way they could, I guess, Coolio could really have only laned it. Because obviously Chipper going offlane would have been pretty very, very bad if it went wrong, for example. It's just that them doing this aggressive tri-lane is very, very risky. But I guess I think they're just simply outplaying. Don't care at the moment because Parasite. I mean, I feel like going against a Parasite in his own jungle, you have to give that matchup against or for Parasite. He's got a Glacius on as well on top of that. So I mean, Affiliate should not be winning this sort of jungle matchup. He is going to go back into his own jungle now, but I think they've already accomplished quite much already.
Yeah. Deadwood is going to be fine. Leech comes out. There's a Chuck in the air. Couple more auto attacks. Actually, Rotten Grass going to come out. The haste of Pebbles, though, that's going to save the day for him. That's why he's so comfortable diving in the first place. We're going to pop that haste if need be, and yeah, will survive. So good fight, though, from Super KGE. And, of course, Ophelia being there helping to scare them off as well. Now, Ophelia going to take over the lane a little bit, actually, as Deadwood goes off and bottles up the double damage rune. So good job sharing the experience right there. Might as well get some kind of experience in the middle lane if you can right there, as Ophelia's doing. Bottom lane, Empath had the Veil of Rot, is exposed by Pebbles right there. Oh, going in, actually. If he can get a wall off right here. Rotten Grass is going to land. Doesn't even need the wall off anyways. Pebbles goes down. Beautiful placement from Super KG. No chance for Captain Straw Hat to get away right there.
Astro's now 5-0-1, man. Astro's on fire. Ridiculous. All this early movement. But yeah, I think, honestly, just that Coolio just simply outplaying, and particularly in this bottom lane, they got so many kills and so big of an advantage that it's really hurting Don't Care.
Top lane, Chipper fighting again with Geomancer. You see Geomancer applying that Earth's Grasp. It's a very, very powerful harassment tool. However, Chipper does have that focus buffer, as we kind of saw right there, and he is at least has a 1 level into it currently. Yeah, that's mitigating plenty of damage, as well as even giving him mana back, remember. So it's almost like it's even worth casting.
It's actually that's a really interesting skill, but actually I do like edge bottom lane.
Bottom lane, Ravener going to jump on a Glacius right here. Ravener taking some good damage himself, though. Gunblade comes in with that demonic shield. The wall off on the wrong side, unfortunately. And they're going to continue to chase right here, but still not going to be enough damage. The boots and that Iron Buckler enough to help Ravener survive, as well as, of course, Empath doing what she could to fight them off. Top lane, Geomancer. Now he's going to dig away, and he will be fine in the end. But 7-4 hero kill lead now in favor of Coolio right here. And we're not even 6 minutes into this game. So, again, action-packed is what we're getting. You do look at the Legion team, though. It's really not a whole lot going for them, honestly, as far as positive goes. Captain Straw Hat on Pebbles. He's the best one right here, 280 gold per minute. Then it drops off quite significantly. So, as entertaining as the start was, and, hey, they had the 4-2 hero kill lead even earlier on, it's just kind of gone downhill since then. And all of a sudden now we got a pretty significant lead, in fact, for Coolio this early on in the game at this point. So.
Yeah, and I think at the moment it's just because the supports in both Empath and Ophelia are just so active. They're always looking for kills. They're always looking for the ganks. Whereas like the Parasite's a little bit more passive, and the Geomancer is sort of happy to sort of set up the top lane and just try and get farm in the lane. But I think this early aggression is what's giving Coolio such a big of an advantage.
Yeah. You got Deadwood with that double damage rune. You see Pebbles is like, I'm not even going to remotely put myself in a bad spot, because that double damage rune pretty much secures an easy kill. Top lane, Chipper's going to go down. Geomancer, he landed the Crystal Field, got some assistance from Glacius. Again, that's not the easiest ability to land sometimes, but when you have a hero that freezes them in place, basically, well, makes it a little bit easier. So some good synergy right there coming out bottom lane. Gunblade being chased back by Ravener. Ravener ball lightning, easy kill secured. Empath, of course, they're assisting. Ravener, or excuse me, more so Gunblade, he is just in a bad spot down here at this point. And they need to do something about that. I don't know what, but clearly, and things aren't coming together as planned for this Legion team. I guess eventually getting the portal key on Pebbles could change that a little bit, but you're still quite the ways away from that at this time.
Yeah, he's really far away from them. I mean, Glacius set up a king top. Actually, Ophelia actually is going to be in trouble as well. It's going to be falling, but
oh, get another kill at least.
Yeah, it just also goes back to the support rotations here. Empath going actually in on the Parasite, but he should be fine. Yeah. Oh, picked up the Gotar. He's actually in trouble now. He might be dying.
The wrong creep, yeah.
He
wanted the Minotaur, not the Gotar. He's still maybe just out of range. Middle lane, Deadwood. Uh-oh. Deadwood's going to be collapsed on. Here comes a Dicky. Rottengrass on himself, knowing that that's where they're going to be. The freeze comes out, though. Is it going to be enough damage? Widowmaker gets a turn kill if he survives this. Oh, my gosh. He does not one auto attack away But still, the fact that he got a turn kill onto Pebbles right there, really not the worst deal in the world. And again, Empath and even the Vagabond leader going to assist pushing back the lane a little bit or protecting the tower. So, hey, I think they're just fine with the way that fight ended right there, at least, in the end.
So just a good play there from Super KG, and this is what I was talking about in the draft as well. Pebbles was just, what's his armor now? 0.8 armor, just got completely wrecked by the dead penalty there.
Yeah.
And just took the fall. But yeah, I mean, that was a 3-man rotation on Super KG there, and to get a kill out of it with the experience as well. Really big play there from Super KG.
Yeah, you factor in the wrong grass. Obviously, it's -4 that he was hit by right there, so well into the negatives at this point. And yeah, that Willowmaker really show the damage that can come out of here like Pebbles. So. Again, I hate to be... Hey, we at least are having a very action-packed, entertaining game, but it just continues to seem like Coolio is just having a much better time. Now, the go-per-minute chart, it's not like it's crazy ahead, I guess, overall. I mean, you got a couple of heroes above that 300 mark on the Hellborn side, but it does drop off a little bit. And Legion team not too far behind, but that's not going to help things. Geomancer does get picked up at the top lane. Ravener, in fact, rotating up here, being played by Marcus Moya. Now, they're going to be pushing this top tower, looks like. You got Ravener, Ophelia, and Chipper. I don't think we're going to see any restraints coming out from Don't Care right here as far as protecting the tower.
No, they have no way of defending it. They should try and set up kills on mid, but they missed. Ooh, Empath.
There's that rotten grass. That's going to miss back and forth. Top tower goes down, though, so really just distracting, if anything, in the middle lane. I will say Gunblade, though, he's at least getting some free farm here now at the bottom lane finally. Getting some much-needed free farm, because, again, only 210 gold per minute right now. A hero that has pretty good potential if he gets some decent earlier farm, but that's not really happening here, unfortunately. It has pretty good skills, though, to kind of help make up for that, though, with that said.
Yeah, definitely. So Coolio are actually, I mean, obviously they're very far ahead, but in terms of their pure laning situation, they're in a little bit of a pickle right now, because obviously Raven's be taking the jungle or the top lane, Devil's going to be busy farming the middle lane, and that sort of leaves the bottom lane for sort of Chipper. But with for how the lane sort of situation is sort of pairing up, Chipper, I don't think he's going to have even a chance to get down in there, because Glacius and Paris are going to be able to sort of kill him easily whenever they rotate down over to Chipper. So I think Chipper's going to have to try and look the ganks top or mid, and only go for the bottom lane if he's pushed in really close to the tower, which it looks like he's going to be, to be fair. But which just allows the Glacius and the Parasite to either keep on farming or sort of try and set up ganks of their own, because Chipper just won't have a lane to farm right now.
Got the middle in here. Glacius and Pebbles. Again, they're trying to get any kind of farm they can for that Pebbles, get that portal key, but in fact, he doesn't even have the Steam Boots finished just yet, or actually, I guess they are being delivered, but yeah, still needs 2150 more gold before having that pick up here. So, yeah, quite the start, definitely in favor. Continues to be for Coolio right now, as we have 17 hero kills coming up to about 10 minutes into this game, so checking into the other game real quickly. Let's see how that one is moving along while we happen to be in a pause here. Looks like they have continued since we left, of course. And Solaire Club actually has that pretty big lead going in their favor. Looks like King Plato on Silhouette, unfortunately, just still kind of struggling there. 27 to 17 hero kills. Jeez. Coming up about 30 minutes in that game. So quite a bit of hero kills in that one as well. Again, that's being covered over on St. Rock's Twitch over there, so check it out if you would like. But not exactly sure. I guess Storyfooter needed the pause here. Playing that Chipper. Yeah, Storyfooter's kind of fun seeing him back. Of course, classic Q Squad days of Haunter Season 2.
One Trick Pony.
One Trick Pony is part of that team, yeah.
Yeah. They used to play Chipper all the time, actually, didn't they?
They were Zibe's Chipper. One Trick Pony was where it started to actually be a thing, yeah. Perhaps got some insight there. Of course, Zibe also still a part of the scene and currently playing for Fresh, which we'll be playing later today against Willowkeeper. That's the later match, guys. And again, no doubt that's going to be a really solid series there. Let's see which team moves on to the Final Four. But these teams are playing to stay alive here in the Hantu Season 3 playoffs. Trying not to have it finish what would be today. All right. Continuing on, though, you look at Chipper. Speaking of him, he's rotating over. As another pause coming out, unfortunately. Maybe they weren't already. You're on the Legion side. You play Diablo at all?
No. I'm not a big Diablo fan. I know people. I haven't played it per se, but I know people who do. Why?
New season started today on Diablo 3.
Oh no, it's a new expansion. Didn't it come out or something? But
no. Expansion came out like a year and a half ago or something, like a year ago. But
right.
A new season for the.
Man, Diablo is so boring though. Like
it really is kind of a pointless game in the end, but
it's so boring. Where's it? I need some PvP.
Yeah,
PvP, man.
There isn't much of that in Diablo 3, unfortunately.
It's just sandbox. Casual gamers breaking.
We smash things though.
True. It's for those casual gamers that are breaking. I'm hardcore, you know.
There's a mode in it called hardcore, to be fair.
I know. Don't if you die, like
if you die, it's
deleted.
It's dead. Yeah, you can't do anything with that character.
That's pretty.
That's
pretty
the way to play. Imagine that in Han, man. You die, you're done. There should be a mode like that. That'd probably be really boring.
Yeah.
You die, the game's over.
Supporters would get pretty bored.
Yeah.
Break. Who's gonna get a trip to Thailand? Who are you thinking?
You know, again, I keep going back to Willowkeeper and Reason, are the two teams but really, that interview that we did with Pro Busk really changed my mind a little bit. It really did, and I wouldn't be surprised if the same for people out there as well. That just hearing his voice, man, that he was ready. Like he really wanted this. I know Zibby definitely. He's been around long enough too that he too definitely wants it, and again, the other players on the team maybe not necessarily as experienced as those two especially, but still quality players that they have shown. If they are able to bring it together, and again, we're going to kind of find that out later today. Depending on how they do against Willowkeeper, they could be the team that I have going. But
I mean, before, like, if you asked me like a month ago, I'd say like Tree were looking so strong, but then particularly after their game against Coolio, they dropped 2-1, and the last game was a game that they could have lost as well. Like Tree looked really, really shaky to me, Breaky, and I mean against a team they really shouldn't have issues with was Coolio. I know they've got good players, obviously like the Super KG, Adro, Arch Tiger, but still. I don't know, man. If you've been at least getting consistent grand finals placement, like second place over the Hontor season 3 cycle, you should not be dropping games except for to Sync and Reason, for example. And
yeah,
I don't know, man. If I had to call the grand finals, I'm saying Reason, Coolio. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out later today. But
wait, Reason, Coolio?
No, not Coolio. Fresh, sorry, not Coolio.
Okay.
Fresh.
Kind of threw a curveball there.
All these names are really weird. Yeah. I'm saying fresh Reason. Because I don't... Oh, man, although I would love to see Tree in Thailand, obviously, so there's some good friends there as well, and what they bring is very innovative in terms of their strategies. I think they're a little bit inconsistent, honestly. They can have great games, and then they can have poor games, and in playoffs like this, you have to be on form, you have to be sort of getting good results, and although they still did win against Coolio, even dropping that one game just to me means quite a lot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, Willowkeeper, as far as the later part of the regular season, something was different. I mean, whether they just got too comfortable kind of being that second place team, or just other teams got better, such as Recent Gaming could have very likely been the case. But yeah, no, I do agree that against Coolio, as good as the team they are, they do look a little shaky against them, perhaps. And if you asked me a month ago, kind of going back to that, though, I would have honestly probably said BMG. But of course, they no longer
that's true,
are even a team. So kind of so much for that, I guess. But.
Yeah. I mean, Reason have been looking so good though as well. I think it comes down to with Reason they've always been like an okay team. They've always been good, but they haven't really had the desire or the want to become like the best. But now with the playoffs, they have that motivation because obviously only one team go to Thailand and they have to be the best. And man, that playoff finals match, man, it's going to be tense because anything could happen. But.
Yeah. It is the best. We've had a couple of cases like that before with other events, including last World Finals. In fact, now last time around it was little more interesting how it was originally only going to be one team joining, and then, of course, 2 teams ended up joining in the end. Don't expect that this time around. I'll just be upfront with that again. At this point, it is just going to be the one team, but we still had that in the end where I believe it was I want to say Too Much Sugar versus BMG in the end, if I'm not mistaken. That is what ended up being the final match to determine. And of course, BMG ended up winning that one. But yeah, it's just another level, man, as far as knowing what's on the line that the teams are competing at it.
And what's crazy as well, though, is that like I think there could be even 5 or 6 teams in the Flash bracket that could actually go to Thailand because they're good enough. But
yeah, no,
only one can. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Last year was even a little bit different when it came to that. Everyone just thought BMG was going to be the team. Now, Sync actually qualified before them, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, BMG did end up going in the end as the 3rd team, of course. So, but yeah, this time around, yeah, I think it's definitely, and that's kind of been the season as well. I mean, sure, obviously Sync Esports has been the dominant, but that's even more reason why we're looking forward to these playoffs, because, hey, Sync's not in it, because they've already qualified. It's up to everyone else now to really show what they can do against one another to get that final spot. But, all right, we are back into it, though, as we can see, advancing on here after a couple of pauses there, so coming up to about 11 minutes in. Again, to get focused back on this game, it's just been a good amount of momentum going right now for Coolio, as we got on the other side of the spectrum for Don't Care. They're still doing things like trying to get that portal key on Pebbles, which is still a little bit ways away here. In fact, he needs to be a little bit careful. Ophelia is nearby. What's her army looking like? Catman Champion and Double Vagabond. All right, not the most powerful for setting up ganks, to be fair. At least with crowd control. So, bottom lane, Empath. Okay, they're going to go on a demo, but Empath all of a sudden appears, and down goes Gunblade as he jumped in. So actually, Don't Care was looking to be aggressive right there. That just happened to be unfortunate timing. And Deadwood just walks off as if it didn't even happen right there. So Gunblade, his woes continue, unfortunately.
And I think, honestly, that should be a little bit expected, though, from Don't Care, because, like I said before, they needed to have someone rotate to start ganking, either it be the Deadwood or the Chipper, because there was no lane left for Chipper. Chipper rotated mid, and therefore you have to expect that Deadwood's off ganking. And obviously you don't see the Empath and the Ophelia, so they're off pretty ganking with Deadwood as well. And yeah, just good rotation from Super KG. He's closing in on his portal key as well, and he's very, very ahead of Pebbles as well. So. Yeah, and this is going to, particularly with the Ophelia as well, they can start pressuring towers when Deadwood gets that portal key. And just leave Revenants to keep on farming and build up the farm.
Who's now at 400 gold per minute, and it seems like it's been going up and up. Of course, going the Abyssal Skull, it seems like that's definitely the go-to choice for a hero, especially like Ravener. I mean, in general, a lot of these melee carriers, of course, like to build it, but because of how Ravener works, even more powerful, you could say.
Yeah, you can lifesteal on the magic damage from overwhelming, so it's really good synergy. Middle lane.
Middle lane, here we go. Now Parasite comes out of nowhere. He was in the Wild Hunter initially. That throws him off guard a little bit. Geomancer unable to land the dig, and in the end, what seemed like could have been a big fight taking place, no one really goes in, or no one really connects it, I should say. So they ultimately fall back from one another, and we'll continue to farm, at least for the time being. Again, Gunblade looking to get farm anywhere he can right now, even at the top lane, taking advantage of it being pushed up a little bit. But Deadwood, he's got the portal key now. One more creep kill, and that's going to be scary. Again, he's also close to level 11, I'm sure, which means that level 2 Willowmaker. The nerf that really happened to him in the past was that level 1 version of it, but level 2, 475 physical, all the way up to 725 at level 3. So the sooner he gets it, of course, the better, as is the same as most cases. So he's going to try top lane. Is Gunblade again going to be a victim? I mean, he has a strength Steam Baton at least. He's sitting in strength.
It's only rank 1 ulti, but I think he can kill him though still.
If he lands a Rotten Grasp, like, he needs to definitely land that, of course, so
yeah.
It's a matter if he gets that here. Maybe he's going to try to leech some experience to get level. I don't know how close he is, unfortunately, but okay, no, he says, screw it, I'm going to go Rotten Grasp after the fact. He wanted to guarantee that, puts in a couple more auto attacks, and down it goes Gunblade. Even with that demonic shield, he does not have nearly enough agility right now to be absorbing damage right here. So there's the easy kill, as we kind of expected.
Yeah, and another, I wonder if Ophelia doesn't want to stop pushing the issue as well, and I think they should actually try and at least push at least one tower though, before Pebbles picks up his portal key. But I guess they don't need to force things; they're doing fine. Deadwood is looking just to get set up kills. It allows Chipper to start having a lane, but they're going to start pushing mid actually with Ophelia, so
yeah.
Scratch that.
There we go, grouping up as the, well, 4 of them at least for the time being. Going to be joined by Ravener eventually. And making their way to that middle tower right here. Uh-oh. Am I sounding laggy to you by chance?
No, you're not laggy.
I think I might
Do
be
I sound
lagging
laggy to you?
oh, well, no, I'm dropping a little bit of frames here, and I noticed the
You
server's
sound
also. Okay, it might
Sound
be
fun.
good now, yeah. I think it kind of recovered. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Just making sure. Anyways, here they go, pushing the middle lane here. They got all 5 of them going. Rotten Grass. Oh, it hits Pebbles, but they don't even know. They happen to be invis, so it's kind of one of those funky situations right there. But don't care. They care about their tower. In fact, they deny the tower right here. But they're not going to go for an open because, well, it's pretty obvious. I mean, first off, Geomancer not with them, and they're already behind in this game, so not going to risk it. They do counter push, at least the bottom lane does. Geomancer and Parasite, actually, so that's probably the best case scenario for them right there in that case. But Pebbles,
Hey,
he's still
that's what
chasing.
it is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to risk it, though. But that T1 tower is pretty big, though, because now they can just rotate into the enemy jungle and start controlling the map now. Start farming and just go from there.
Yeah. In fact, they're going to try to catch Parasite right here. The rocket, the first one hits. There's the wall off in the face now. Parasite does not have any minions to take over. And that's going to be an easy kill. He's got no minions nearby. And that was a good job by Ophelia, actually. She kept her minions away on purpose.
Yeah.
Knowing that, well, that's how Parasite works, of course. So, what is Empath doing, by the way? Is he actually going Alchemist Bones? Is this going to be the first support Alchemist Bones game?
It will be, and I think actually with the change to Alchemist Bones, it probably actually makes a lot of sense. We haven't seen it a lot, but I really do like it though, because like, I mean, if Empath is a support that, you know, it can do fine without levels, but if you can level up the ult, it can do so much work.
What a turn. Deadwood actually got caught initially. He ended up surviving in the end. Ophelia's touch helped, and then Ravener ports in. He portal keys, gets 1 turn kill. He's going to go for a second. He'll probably get it. Glacius has no man. He has boots. He's like, stay away from me. And he's like, no, I'm gonna kill you instead. Parasite, he's trying to survive. He does have a creep near. Oh, he can't jump in it. Hat trick coming out for Marcus Moy right here on Ravener, and I don't know if Don't Care really has much more left in them. In game number 1. But yeah, the Aqua's, I'm glad that he is doing that, because that was one of the things when we talked about that change coming out into this patch. How the idea that it could be even possibly be a support option because of the experience change.
Yeah, and I like it as well, but it's because the experience change, because, I mean, some supports, they'll need it a lot more than Empath, but Empath with levels is really good, because the ultimate scales quite well as well, like the extra 20 attack speed and the extra 20 damage. For a hero like Revenant can do a lot of work, so I'm glad to see her level it up. And we might even see it on, I mean, I think we'll probably see it on more on like second supports than on first supports, but I think because this game is almost so one-sided, she might as well pick it up. But for heroes like second support Magma, second support Behemoth, those heroes that, even like with second support like Witchlight, for example, that really do need those crucial levels, I really do like the idea.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh, top lane, Deadwood. Gunblades wants to get some revenge from earlier. He will, but at what cost here? Ravener chasing now. Getting juked a little bit, actually, and Gunblade ultimately is going to survive. In fact, he's going to hold his ground. He has Pebbles coming back in with a double damage rune. Marcus Moy not tanky enough. Good pickoff right there for Don't Care, so that, if anything, is going to keep them in for the game for the time being. It's not over just yet, though. You see Ophelia and Empath coming up here, but no, they're not going to find them, actually. So good escape on top of that as well. And able to get out of there, but yeah, also going up against a Parasite doesn't hurt. Getting an item like Alchemist Bones.
True.
I know also, again, in Dota 2, you know, every now and then it's no doubt that, you know, teams and players are also looking at that and, you know, being similar in some senses of what they do over there. And I know it's actually pretty popular over there, in their case, the Hand of Midas, I believe, how it's picked up on support heroes from time to time. Now, it is a little bit different in how it ultimately works as well, but it does give experience, kind of like ours does now as well, so.
Yeah, no, and I think as long as he's Alchemist Bones in the like a big hard camp creep, it should be fine in terms of just the experience, and it will do a lot of work. Like I said, I think the reason why it's picked up here is more obviously he's going to get to Parasite, and they're so far ahead that it doesn't really matter. I mean, he's still 6-0-4 at the moment, so he had a lot of spare gold. But yeah, I really think I think maybe it's more suitable for support. For suicides that want to bounce back. For example, like maybe like a Madman or even like a Valkyrie, for example. But for supports, it's definitely viable.
Yeah. All right, middle tower push from DoCa. Actually, nice catch on Ophelia right there. They're going for the pick, and they will be successful. Ron Grass comes out, though, and the quick turn kill on, and Pebbles coming out. And now here's Chipper as well. Glacial Downpour going to do some decent damage, actually. But Ravener joins the party. He gets caught by the Crystal Field initially. However, it will not be enough in the end, or at least, oh my gosh, that life steal, man, with the empath inside. He got low, but not low enough. Hashtag nerf comes out. I mean, he had empath inside, to be fair, and he's out leveling and out farming this Legion team. So I'm going to say I'm not too surprised there. But yeah, that was a beautiful jump in, and they just cleaned them up in the end. So this lead once again goes back to being pretty significant here in favor of Coolio at this point. Over a 10,000 goal lead, nearly a 12,000 experience lead, just sitting just past that 20-minute mark. And was that? Yes, it was. I'm pretty sure I just saw a charged hammer purchased by.
Yeah, he doesn't have the gold. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't have the gold. I think it was just the recipe. But yeah, this is normally the item build of Ravenor, or carry Ravenor. Normally we'd see it before the Portal Key, but as this game is so aggressive and so active, I actually do like the Portal Key pick up on Ravenor. Now he's going to start transitioning into sort of the more carry style of Ravenor.
Yeah.
I think he should definitely pick up a Shrunken Head next, because otherwise he will have a lot of sort of issues sort of in the team fights, especially. That, or he can pick up like a Dawnbringer, because he'll need that chalice. He needs a chalice now just for mana regeneration. But if he goes like Dawnbringer, for example, will give him the mana regeneration he needs. But team fights might be in trouble.
You're dead. Place to ward aside at least, but gets picked off very shortly after. And they're still gone. I was going to talk about Gunblade again. This has just been a hell game for him. He's somehow managed to get Steam Boost Energizer, and now even has a Quick Blade on top of that, but still well off where he wants and both needs to be. Ophelia top lane, actually, might be in trouble herself once again. Crystal Field, it is going to land. No! Just out of range. She managed to get a nice little speed burst at the last second to help her escape right there, and ultimately does stay alive, and now Deadwood's looking to run into somebody. That somebody's going to be Gunblade, and here we go. Rotten Grass maybe just trying to juke and jive here. Pebbles jumps in. He misses his stun, though. It was a good job by both sides, kind of juking a little bit. There's the Willowmaker, and down goes Pebbles. Gunblade jumps in on a Chipper in the background, hoping for a turn kill. Ophelia's touchdown comes out. Geomancer's here as well as Parasite, though. They will both go down in turn. Empath jumped inside of Deadwood, though. And now here's more supporting cast with Ophelia, but Deadwood getting locked out, actually. Ophelia picks off Glacius. Deadwood turns around. Another missed stun, though, from Pebbles. And Deadwood will ultimately get away, and now it's Geomancer's turn to run. Can he somehow escape? He can. He gets enough mana for the dig. But now here's Ravener, and everyone wants to get away. GGs are being called. That's probably going to do it. They probably figure, yeah, they are just way too far behind right now. GG, well played. Game one does go to Coolio here over Don't Care. So congratulations to them in that game number one performance. I mean, I knew going into that, he pretty much called it was going to be action-packed, but wow. I mean, that was just nonstop.
Even from like minute zero, there's so many kills. But yeah, I think the biggest thing though was just that the aggressive pseudo tri-lane from the Ophelia, Empath, and Ravenor just did too much work. They got a lot of early kills, and Adro, I mean, like, he was 7-0-9, and just particularly in the first like 5 to 10 minutes, just his rotations were so good and got himself a lot of early kills. And honestly, I don't think the defensive tri-lane there from Don't Care should have lost. They had Parasite and Glacius to deal with the Ophelia, and they had Gunblade as well. Like, that should not be. They shouldn't have lost it that hard. I think it just was simply outplay from the side of Coolio, and just carried on from there. Super KG played very, very well, as he normally does as well. Middle lane, and just secured the win. Not much else to really talk about than that break, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree right there. It's just well played all around by Coolio, and definitely determined to stay alive here in what is the bracket, the playoffs of Group A, and keep things going into tomorrow, whereas Don't Care, hey, you know, to be fair, again, they technically weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs, but because of a couple of team disbands, including in their case BMG,